When you first start looking into property investing, all the jargon can feel like you're trying to crack some kind of secret code. But here's the thing. Learning that code is absolutely the key to making smarter decisions. So today, we're going to do just that. We're decoding the numbers you see on property listings to figure out what they really mean. Think about it. You're scrolling through listings and you see all these numbers, right? They're chosen very carefully to grab your attention. But the real question you have to ask yourself is, are those numbers telling you the whole story, or are they just telling you the stories someone wants you to hear? And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. See, not all numbers are created equal. There's a huge difference between the numbers you see on the surface, the headlines, and the numbers that are buried a little deeper, the ones that tell you the truth about an investment's financial health. So let's break that down. All right, so first up, let's talk about those really tempting figures. You know the ones, they're on every single listing, they're in every agent's window. These are the numbers that are designed for one thing: maximum appeal. So you'll often see a price guide or what's called a market appraisal. And it's so important to remember what this actually is. It's an agent's estimate. It's a marketing tool they use to get you interested, to start a conversation. It is absolutely not a formal bank-approved figure of what that property is actually worth. And the other big headline number you'll always hear is the gross yield. An agent might say, hey, this place has a 6% yield. And yeah, that sounds pretty good. But the key word there is gross. It's a super simple calculation, just the annual rent divided by the price. But what does it ignore? It completely ignores every single real-world cost that comes with owning a property. And this brings us to the most crucial part. If you want to get the real story, you have to learn to look right past those headlines. So now let's dive into the numbers that savvy, smart investors are really looking at. So instead of a market appraisal, you have the valuation. Now this is a formal, completely independent, rigorous assessment of what a property is worth. A bank is almost always going to require one of these before they lend you any money. Because, well, they need an objective number, not a marketing number. It's their money on the line after all. And when you see it laid out like this, the difference is just crystal clear, isn't it? A market appraisal is an agent's best guess. It's a marketing tool. A valuation, that's a formal assessment. It's a bank requirement. One is about generating a sale. The other is about assessing actual risk. And just like a valuation gives you the real worth, the net yield, well, that gives you the real return. This calculation starts with the same rental income, but then it subtracts all the necessary costs of running the place. We're talking rates, insurance, property management fees, maintenance, everything. And this really shows you the difference in black and white. Gross yield is the headline. Net yield is the reality. One is this theoretical return before you've paid for anything. The other is what's actually going to end up in your bank account. The takeaway here is so simple. Always, always ask for the net yield. Okay, so understanding the numbers for a single property is vital, but you also need to understand the wider market that property is sitting in. There are two key numbers that can help you get a feel for the market's mood. So you might see a number like 90 days. What on earth does that mean? Well, that represents days on market, or DOM. It's the average amount of time it takes for a property in that specific area to sell. A high number, like 90 days, might signal a slower market, a market where sellers could be a bit more negotiable. A really low number? That suggests a hot market, and you might need to move fast. How about this one? 82%. This represents the auction clearance rate. It's simply the percentage of properties that actually sell at auction. A high number, like 82%, that's a huge sign of a strong seller's market. It means lots of competition, tons of buyers, and prices are probably heading up. It's a really powerful barometer for market confidence. So we've pulled back the curtain on the headline numbers, and we've looked at the reality sitting just beneath them. Let's try to pull all of this together into one clear, really actionable idea. If you only remember one thing from this, please let it be this. The sharpest insight, the most powerful position to be in, is to always look past that first number you're given. Question the appraisal. Dig deeper than the gross yield. Understand the context. Because that is where you find the real story. So, I'll leave you with a final thought to take with you. Based on what we've just talked about, what's the one headline number that you're now going to question first on your next property search? Whether it's that tempting yield or the exciting price guide, just asking the question, that's your first step towards making a much, much smarter investment.